Hey everybody, Mario Menduni here. I want to do a quick video on, let's call it the slow cook option, okay? So normally we're either testing or developing or scaling, right? And when we're testing, we expect most concepts to flop. And we may gain some intel out of them, we may gain a little bit of copy out of them, but in the most part, we want our tests to, in a perfect world, ideally flop or show that they're an outlier that's worth potentially scaling the version 1, more likely testing variation after variation until we get something strong enough that will scale. Now, another option is to slow cook. Okay, so slow cooking is, the concept here is basically running your best stuff or your borderline stuff that almost worked at a lower budget than normal, right? So our normal testing budget would be, 25 or 50 bucks a day for a few days, and then, analyze the data. In this case, what we're doing is, let's say we've tested, 50 quotes, right? 50 concepts, and 5 of them are the best out of that. Now, they never really developed, or maybe one of them developed, you made some money, and it sort of died off after Mother's Day, or it sort of just died off in general after just natural, right side of the bell curve kind of stuff, okay? So what we're doing here is we're running a bunch of stuff at low budget. And let's say you have your best 5 designs, all running at like $5, $7, $11, something like that. And they're just sort of slow cooking, right? And you can use CBO or ABO for this. It doesn't really matter at this small of a budget, in my opinion. And that's totally fine. So basically, this is like a canary in the coal mine situation, right? So let's say you're a little early to trend. Let's say maybe it's right after Christmas, and you want to start thinking about Valentine's Day. Often you'll launch some ads for Valentine's Day, and you'll get comments like, "Hey, that looks great, but I'm tapped out. You're a month early. I'm tapped out from spending all this money at Christmas." Like, you get comments like that, right, in your Facebook ads. So what you can do is, run your best 5 romantic quotes that worked for you in, say, 2021, and you're looking at 2022 Valentine's Day. You can start running them in the beginning of the year or even on Christmas Day at low budgets. And you'll notice at some point in January, probably, you'll start to get a pop. You'll start to get sales increase. And this way, you're not just sort of guessing, hey, when should I launch those concepts again and see if they work, right? Instead, you have these 5 or 3 or 10 or whatever it is, depending on how many winners or previous winners or borderline concepts you have. You get this, you'll get a pop out of a few of them. You'll start to see a trend in more buyers coming in general, and you'll start to see, hopefully 1 or 2 of the 5 or 10 concepts, even at a low budget, proving to be the strongest concept at the time. And that way, in real time, you'll know that which ones you want to develop, try to scale and develop out without having to sort of have no ads running and sort of guessing, hey, I'm going to relaunch this thing, 3 weeks before the event, okay? So this sort of thing works best when time is on your side. And a lot of the events that we're looking at in family gift giving, specifically Shine On here, time is not really on our side, right? We're in a rush to find a winner and then scale it really hard for the, 2 weeks or so before the event, right? And that's unless we're doing evergreen stuff, which is, I highly recommend you do evergreen and play the events, okay? So here's the major events that, we're making money on this year in Shine On, and pretty much in a year, right? So obviously the Christmas season is the big event. Christmas time is on your side a lot more. You've got 2-3 months of, heavy buying behavior for Christmas gifts. Valentine's, obviously a smaller opportunity. You got a couple weeks to make that work. Mother's Day is a big opportunity. Almost as big as Q4, but in a short period of time. You're in a rush to scale up to 10, 20, 30, 50 grand days very quickly to make some real money. Whereas, you can just operate at a couple grand a day here for the whole Christmas run and have it add up to, $500,000 in sales, which is, perfectly reasonable for somebody with their first or second success to operate at that level. And it's a lot easier to maintain ROAS and operate the business and not have all the growing pains of going from, nothing to millions of dollars in a Q4, right? Father's Day, to a certain extent, way less SKUs, but more SKUs coming out. We're talking about Shine On. There's more SKUs coming out for Father's Day, but again, it's a quick hit. So our Father's Day winner this year that we got up to 30 grand in a day, all the money, the couple $100,000 we did was made in pretty much a week or 10 days. So it was a big rush, right? Which also caused a little bit of production back up too, because it was a unique SKU. Okay. So again, the concept here, which is very pertinent to the time I'm making this video here, right at the end of September 2021, we're right at the cusp of Q4. What I'm having all my students do is go back through their wealth of quotes, their near winners, their slight losses, their winners that just didn't develop, and telling them, pick 3, 4, 5 of your near misses, if you will, and throw them on the slow cooker, and then that way you've always got something running, and you're going to be ahead of the game when you get to feel in that particular niche. You'll start to see the trends because you're buying data every day, and given that we're coming into a buying season here, you're not going to make or lose much money on these slow cookers. But when 1 or 2 of them start to pop, or if the whole niche starts to pop, if you're in multiple niches, then you know where you need to put your effort. Put 90% of your effort into what's working. And it can be a very powerful strategy on a very low spend.